Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Jeremy Schumacher. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist. I'm the Jer in Wellness with Jer. Thanks for stopping by and checking out my channel. I got merch now, gang. Check it out. It's the Your Therapist Needs Therapy podcast sweatshirt I have on. I went with Blaze Orange, which is a little brighter than the orange logo. So just a heads up if you're like, I need a bright orange shirt to support my therapy podcast. So check out the merch store. It's a thing I have because having a podcast costs money until you have a big enough following that it makes money, in theory, I think is how capitalism works. So support the show. I'm back with another song review, not just promoting my own stuff today. This is a song that got popular on TikTok, as far as I can tell, because it's an old song by a band that's not together anymore, and I see it on sports clips constantly because I like to watch sports clips because I like sports. So somehow it has entered into some sort of YouTube algorithm and is now suggested on a lot of highlight clips that are also suggested to me. So we're doing I don't even know how to pronounce the band's name because they're not together anymore. And the song's from 2014. We're doing Ava by FAMY. They're like French, Italian. I don't know. It's two brothers and a dog in the background. Just digging at the couch. Girl. She's pretty. Not sure how loud she's being. Just gonna throw a pillow around. That's my old rescue dog, Moria. She's 9. She can be an old lady. But yes, Ava by FAMY. I don't know. They don't even have like a YouTube channel. So I don't know. 2014, a decade ago. But yeah, the song got popular on TikTok and then like sped up or slowed down on TikTok. I've heard the slowed down version a lot. With soccer highlights for some reason. Lots of messy. The soccer player, the footballer, not the adjective. Lots of messy highlight clips with this on YouTube Shorts for some reason, but it's like the slowed down reverbed version. So I'm just doing what I think is the normal version. Let's do it. Enough of a preamble. Classic me. All right, here we go.
Two oceans in between us, and away for shore. There's a gate I see, there's a way for me. Now this one sits here and whispers things to me. Now I got the devil inside. This one made a pig of me. This wall is primal, my grinding jaw. The headache pill, the necktie on my bedroom door. Conscience burning, my eyes are too cuddled up with a heart condemned. I should love you, and I swear I do.
All right, it's not a long song, so hopefully this won't be a long review. Two oceans in between us. So like I don't know if the song is a literal meaning of like this is for a long distance relationship that the person keeps cheating on their partner with while they're in a long distance relationship, or more metaphorical of two oceans in between us in that there's a great deal of distance between us. We are not connected well. And so yeah, this is a song about cheating. Relationship fun with your local friendly neighborhood marriage family therapist. You know, like the world is primal, my grinding jaw, the headache pill, the necktie on the bedroom door. So like that's a thing that I didn't know what it meant until I went to college, and my roommate was like, "Don't come in if there's a sock on the door because that means I'm having sex." Which growing up in like fundamentalist evangelical Christianity was news to me that was a common thing. So that's kind of if anyone missed that reference, the necktie on the bedroom door, that's that. I also like don't know who the song's targeted to. Again, like it's weird that this song kind of blew up on TikTok, and then like it's an old song by a band that is not together anymore. So it's hard to do my background research work. I'm like, what is this band doing? It just seems to be kind of a generic cheating song. So like there's distance. Now this one sits here, whispers in my ear. Now I've got the devil inside. So like I'm away from my partner. I'm away from my person I'm with, some version of an exclusive relationship with, and like this person's giving me the attention I want, or I'm interacting with this person in a way that just meeting some need that is unmet elsewhere. So it's not good. It seems to be a lot of the guilt is not about the sex. A lot of the guilt is about not following the parameters of whatever relationship they're supposed to be in. So while polyamory is having a moment right now, let's talk about, I'm using this song as an excuse to talk about polyamory. I've seen a ton of articles, New York Times, Washington Post, some other stuff have been writing about polyamory. And like, I don't read the newspaper, I get all that stuff aggregated for me. So, but even like Dan Savage on the Savage Lovecast, who's a sex columnist, talked about like polyamory is having a minute right now, which made me look into it. So shout out to Dan Savage and the Savage Lovecast. So, one of the things that I work a lot with in couples therapy, because I see poly couples and I see ethical non-monogamy couples, monogamy as like a construct, as a system by which we default our relationships to, doesn't make a ton of sense. Most people are not monogamous, even those people who are in committed relationships are not monogamous, because very few humans have one lifetime sexual partner. So in the study of sex, of animal sexuality, and mammals, which humans are mammals, creatures that have one partner for life, they mate for life, and then they don't mate again if that mate dies, that's monogamy. Mono meaning one. You have one sexual partner for your entire life. And like, we humans aren't that. A lot of humans, where we define monogamy as human beings, society, the royal we, define it as one partner at a time. So kind of serial monogamers is the term I like to use. So you have sex with your high school, college partner, and you date people, and you have sex with those people, and then finally you settle down on a committed relationship is the way society kind of lays it out. And I would say the preferred method, like, again, I grew up conservative Christian and within purity culture, so you're supposed to wait till marriage and you're only supposed to have one partner. So like, religion preaches monogamy, but like, I can tell you, as someone who dated somebody who went to a religious college, like, those people are not monogamous. The pastors who are preaching to you on Sunday mornings fooled around in college while they got sloppy drunk. Like, and that's not news to anyone who like went through those things or grew up around it. Like, religious people are not more pious than everyone else. They just act it. So again, like, I would say most humans are serial monogamers, and like, not most as a statistic, but like most as a social norm, which is not based on statistics and is generally a social construct. It's an idea that society has kind of gotten behind and said, we're going to pretend like this is the norm, and then we're going to judge anyone who breaks the norm, because society, all operating off the same norms, makes civilization easier. So like, I'm not dismissing that social constructs are useful, and I'm not dismissing that a civilization that wanted to promote some version of nuclear family being bad, but like, it is bad. The concept of the nuclear family isn't backed by statistics or by history. Much more of like, it takes a village, which is not, it takes one dad, one mom, and two children, and that's the ticket, which is kind of like American culture, nuclear family idea. And again, the divorce rate in America is somewhere up around 65%. Has been for a while. It didn't, as far as I know, and I haven't seen a ton of data backing this up, but I haven't seen data dismissing it either. We saw divorce rates spike in a lot of countries around COVID, because people who could see other people or not be with their partner were locked out. America didn't really do a full lockdown, so we didn't really see that divorce spike. But definitely that concept of the nuclear family, and like the whole of the right-wing Republican Party, and which has absorbed evangelicalism, which is a whole separate topic. For those of you who have followed my work and follow me for religious trauma, you're like, right, talk about that. But like, again, religious groups divorce at the same or actually a higher rate. There's no data saying religious folks divorce less often or are better at monogamy. The research says it's the same or actually worse if there's any difference at all. So it's interesting to hear this song about cheating and to know how many songs there are about cheating. I mean, country music as a genre is overly simplified as being about breaking up and heartbreak and cheating. So like, we have this issue with cheating, but we're bad at monogamy. So what's the issue? Well, the issue is putting monogamy on that pedestal. And I'm a marriage therapist. Like, I'm not opposed to serial monogamy. I'm not opposed to committed relationships. Like, I have a little wealth of history and knowledge on how to make that work and be beneficial for both people and be a wonderful thing. And the longer I stayed in my practice, the more I moved away from like, that's the gold standard, because it absolutely isn't. There just isn't research that says this works better than any other version. And as we exist in late stage capitalism and social norms start to deteriorate, because we're seeing that they didn't help society, they only helped a select few people, the ultra rich and wealthy and privileged class. People are moving away from some of these social norms that they're realizing didn't help them at all and were of no benefit to them, but were only used to control them. So again, some of the things like with the nuclear family was like a way to keep women at home by making women pick a partner or be chosen by a partner. Because let's not pretend that the women have had autonomy throughout history to choose their partners. The idea then that they are the homemakers and they are the mother figures, always the parents, stay home and parent, like, that's just patriarchy. That's not, this is the nuclear family and this is what is good for human development. That's just patriarchy. So again, the issue is not having sex with multiple partners. The issue is breaking the ethical standard of, if you're in a committed relationship, don't cheat. Don't have multiple partners if you're supposed to be in an exclusive relationship with just one partner. If you don't want that, if you would like multiple partners, then seek out relationships that allow for multiple partners and have space for that. And again, like, that's where polyamory comes in. Polyamory, poly being multiple, amory, amor being love, multiple loves. Just this idea that, not an idea, this recognition that one partner cannot meet all of your needs. And we're very comfortable with this outside of sex, right? Like, I will occasionally go thrift shopping with my wife, but like, my wife knows I'm not a fan. There are other people she has in her life who would much rather go thrifting with her, and she'll have a better experience going thrift shopping with people who don't have sensory issues like I do. It's like, I walk into Goodwill and I'm like, oh, it smells weird in here and I can't handle it. I can handle it, but it stresses me out. Like, it takes resources away from me. I like pro wrestling. My wife does not. So I have a pro wrestling friend. Like, and so we're so comfortable having friends who do certain things for us or meet certain needs for us. And then we have this old patriarchal, probably puritanical is likely where it came from, idea in a society that like, we're only supposed to have one sexual partner. So it's okay to have partners who meet our needs in other ways, but it isn't okay to have multiple sexual partners. And like, the fact that you're going to find someone at somewhere between 18 and 25, although the average rate at which people are getting married is 27 or 28 in America now. So we're getting married later, who has the same libido as you. And then that libido is going to stay consistent throughout having kids, job changes, all this other stuff. Like, it is a preposterous stance. Like, kudos to the PR team from the Puritans. And I'm joking, this is sarcasm, because gosh, like, I work with religious trauma. This is all just cult mind control and behavior control. The model of behavior control and keeping people limited in their options is what cults use, what authoritarian groups use. So the authoritarian right wing, the evangelical community, like the overlap between evangelicalism and the Republicans has become authoritarianism, because both groups lean that way naturally. Having one higher power, one authority, is not a good thing, actually. So yes, I'm way off topic. How do we get into authoritarianism from a song about cheating? I don't know. You were with me on the journey. I started this film, this review, was like, I'm going to do a shorter review. Not on target. Verse 2. There's only 2 verses. There's like an outro. We'll split. We'll chat again before the end of the song. Yeah. Um, it occurred to me when listening to the song previously to the review that I'm curious if this is a long-term relationship instead of a long-distance relationship. Again, the metaphorical ocean being the distance, and then the headache pill is the long-term relationship I'm in. Sex life isn't what I want, and the metaphorical, my partner has a headache and so doesn't want to have sex, which they get to not have sex is the thing. But then the headache pill being, is that a colloquialism that I just don't know about for sleeping with someone else? And like, again, the horrificness is not that we have different sexual needs. The horrificness is the unethical nature in which this is being pursued. Don't cheat on your partner. Don't cheat. When Facebook first came out, this is how old and how long I've been in therapy. I really detested it, and I still do. That hasn't gotten better. But as a marriage therapist, like original Facebook, when it first opened up to not just college students, because I'm old enough to remember when it's just for college students. But when it became accessible to everyone, so many people used it to like have affairs with like their high school sweethearts and stuff. Like, oh, it was the bane of my existence for a while there because of how many affairs Facebook specifically led to. Was just brutal. So wasn't a fan. Still am not a fan. So one of the thing, why did this song specifically, besides YouTube algorithm keeps recommending it to me, I like songs where the singer sounds like they're going crazy. And the emotion of the song, the lead singer does a good job of kind of capturing like the guilty conscience, like and again, kind of like there's some imagery in here that I really like. Follow me through an empty dream. I'm waking up to someone new. Like, oh man, that's provocative. Is the dream their waking life? Like, is the time that they're awake and then I'm sleeping is like, oh, man, like that's provocative. I'm curious about that. Like that's a good lyric. But then some of the other lyrics are not very good. And again, I'm guessing the band was like young and so doesn't have a lot of experience in life, so they couldn't quite wrap up the song all that great. This world is learning, this world is pure, like what? But like that's really out of left field. I don't like the way the song talks about sex because again, it's made a pig of me, my beastly flaw. Again, I think there's like a weird level of like shaming sex. Like I'm a pleasure positive therapist. Sex is a good thing. Pleasure is a good thing. We're wired for that. That's innate into our beings, and that's part of being human, and that's a good thing, and we should celebrate that. We want to have parameters and ways in which that's ethical. So, consent is important. Consenting adults, go have your fun together. So, I support a lot of that stuff, but again, like you're not beastly, you're not wanting sex isn't bad. And we have to normalize that, first of all, because otherwise what happens is sex is bad, and then it becomes women who like sex are especially bad. It's patriarchy. So yes, we have to dismantle kind of that. And can men be pigs, or beastly or primal in that they are not respecting women? They, um, kind of, pursue a sexual partner, and then they get off, and then they don't care at all about their partner's needs or wants. Like, absolutely. Like, again, patriarchy and then shitty dudes like exist and have existed throughout history. So like, I'm not trying to be like, oh, men aren't pigs. Like, they exist. They're not pigs for wanting sex. They're pigs for how they don't care about other human beings and only get their own needs met, and are just bad partners. Like, right. So bad people can exist. Primal, pigly. Now I want to do a review of the big Beatles song Piggies and complain about capitalism again. Um, so again, the flaw isn't wanting sex. The flaw is the non-ethical nature of it. So again, like, grappling with this, I'm a member of a Facebook group for therapists, and maybe once, twice a month, people will request resources for sex addiction. And another therapist, not me, has handled it really well. I've kind of ignored it because I don't want social media drama in my life because I don't like Facebook. Someone just kind of posts a quote from the American Association of Sex Educators, or Sex Education Certified Trainers, or whatever. ASECT is the thing that basically says there is no valid research, there is no scientific data that backs sex addiction as a thing, which is like a polite way of telling another therapist, like, stop looking for these resources. The problem isn't sex addiction. And we have research that actually says where people struggle with something like sex addiction is actually their belief system, which is almost always a religious belief. And as religious trauma therapists, I'm aware of that research because, again, the problem is a belief system that says you're bad for wanting sex, not for the sex itself, or the desire itself. So again, sex is not the problem, the ethical nature of it. So I don't know that I finished my thought on polyamory before. But again, like, there are books on ethical slut came out 25 years ago, 20 years ago. Polysecure is a couple of years old already. So the books around polyamory and podcasts and media consumption, but like, I still feel like if you go on YouTube and type in polyamory, like, a pastor is going to come up as like your third thing, which, like, Google's algorithm sucks right now. So just trying to get the lyrics for this song up was a nightmare because Google doesn't know what it's doing anymore. More capitalism sucks. But yeah, so like, there's a way to do polyamory and just being like, I'm unhappy in my current relationship sexual status and want to open up my marriage so I can have other sexual partners, is not what polyamory is about. Polyamory is about meeting needs, is about building your village out. It takes a village to be successful or to be healthy or to be whole. And like, that idea is based on mutual respect, is many love. Like, it's in the word polyamory. So it's not like deficit based. It's not that I'm not getting my needs met and therefore I have to go get them met somewhere else. Because again, like, successful polyamory is about open communication and secure attachment with your partner. It's not about, I get to sleep around. So a lot of people like dip their toes into it because they're in an unhappy marriage and that needs work. And then if you wanted to open up your marriage, you could talk about it. But like, skipping the step of having a healthy, secure attachment first doesn't make any sense. And I'm all for it. Like, I think polyamory currently is hard to pull off because the social norms kind of like can't see my, kind of push down on us so heavily, even if we're like actively working against them. It is hard to exist in a society that promotes social constructs so strongly because they're everywhere. They're in the media we consume, they're in the books we read, they're in the way history is taught to us and philosophy is taught to us, all these things. So we get all this messaging. So I think it's hard to do because we don't see it done all that well and it's not normalized yet. I do think a lot of people are wired for it. And I think there are people who are wired for a more committed, mellow, chill monogamy. Serial monogamy, because I think very few people are mate for life type people. So yeah, let's do the third verse because this song takes a weird fucking left turn here. Oh, there's like also a long musical outro. We're just going to be awkward and sit through it together. It goes on like that for another 40 seconds. I've taken up enough of your time. What the fuck is that ending? I'm swearing a lot because it's so weird. The song's about like breaking up and then, or like cheating, and then it's like, I don't think this person's very good at sex, which might be the whole point of them being a pig and a beast, I guess. Is like, I don't know if we put the word consensually at the end of all these phrases, maybe it's better. But also the lyrics say like gonna suck her fat, which like it sounds like thigh. I don't know. It, gonna hold her back than the shameful slack. Like, is this person ashamed of like having a refractory period after they orgasm? Gonna wake up dry? Like, that doesn't sound like the sex was good. So like, I don't know, what a big question mark at the end of the song. What is that about? And again, like I think the song got popular on TikTok because the first and second verse are pretty good and like elicit an emotional response that matched the lyrics. And then this part's weird. And yeah, I don't know. If you don't know what a refractory period is, most males, a very high percentage of them, after they have an orgasm, have a time where their body needs to recoup its resources that it lost by having an orgasm. Many females do not have that refractory period, don't have a refractory period at all. So yeah, colloquially pushing a rope, not being able to get another erection right away. And so yeah, there's like a lot of weird body shame, and then like gonna wake up dry. Like, again, is that referencing like having sex in a disconnected from an emotional way is a very like unfulfilling experience, or is that didn't have good sex? Because like, you know, sex is full of bodily fluids and can be messy. I don't want to say when done right, because I'm not going to say there's a way that sex is done wrong, but you know, it can be messy when done well to multiple partners' enjoyment. Dry is not a word that you usually associate with good sex. So like, what are they getting at here? The sex wasn't good. And then that casts the whole rest of the song into question, because I'm like, if they're not a good, right, maybe they're just a bad person. Because they're not a good partner to their sexual partners or to their partner who they're supposed to be exclusive to. I'm not sure what the point of the song is. I've taken half an hour of your time to discuss the meaning of this song, and we're all kind of left wondering what it's about. Try and have good sex. Be good partner. Dan Savage, look at me putting a nice bow on this review by going back to Dan Savage. GGG, good giving in game. We want to be good partners. We want to be giving partners. We want to be game partners. So like, yeah, try and meet your partner's needs. Try to be good at the things that you do sexually. You're trying to be giving with those things, because it is rare. That's just statistically speaking, it's rare that you're just going to meet a partner who's vibing with you sexually all the time for 60 years being together. And we want to be game. We want to be open to things. We want to be trying new things. We want to be open to our partner. And we want our partner to be open to us. So good giving and game from a sex columnist and a therapist who's backing that advice. So yeah, this is an old song. It's popular on TikTok. Perhaps by watching this video, your YouTube algorithm will start giving you football, soccer videos with this song overlaid, because that's what I see all the time. Like my quick breaks in between sessions, which very rarely happen. Usually it's like I'm running late and then I'm snacking or having a lunch in what was supposed to be an hour-long break that I'm not getting before I have new clients come in. I watch a lot of sports. So FAMY, Ava is the song, a song named after a generic female to say generic relationship things. I'm Jeremy. Thanks for stopping by and checking out my channel. Drop down in the comments, like, subscribe, tell me your thoughts on what the song mean, or give me other ideas for songs or movies or shows. I'm always interested in collaborating. So yeah, drop down in the comments and do the like, subscribe, YouTube-y things. All right, peace out, everybody. Take care.